very lucky, okay? Coach Smo, all right? Coach Hansen, and he's gonna cringe. They're both gonna cringe when I say that. Yeah, 17 years ago I was in your seats, right? But I'm here today, and I want to be kind of right to the point. Sometimes you get in situations, right? Somebody who's gone and accomplished something, they come back and they give you this general spiel of work hard and anything can happen. I'm actually going to come here and I'm going to give you the bullet points. This might help me not be so long-winded as well. In terms of, for me and my story, okay? I'm going to talk about focus, okay? I'm going to talk about intent, okay? And we're going to hope that I spell accountability correctly. Okay? So we're going to talk about these three things. These are a huge part of my story here. All right? Huge part. Coach mentioned the warm-up. Okay? What Coach did mention is that I heard out of Coach's mouth when I'm here, those who go on and play, meaning those who leave Cabrillo College and go play at a four-year, are the guys that take the warm-up seriously. Why? Because how you do anything is how you do everything. So focus and intent. Okay, I was lucky to have a staff, but specifically when I think about my time, okay, I played receiver. Actually came here as a DB. Should have never let the previous head coach. If it was Coach Hansen, he would have left me there and I would have played a little longer. But got switched to receiver. So Coach and my relationship was more centered around beyond the X's and O's, right? He wasn't coming over and helping me with stem releases and getting off the line. But he was holding me accountable. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then, as you guys know, I mean, he's running this operation entirely now. But even then, as a D coordinator, he was involved with the training. Big reason why I became a strength coach is because of that man sitting in that chair right now. But focus and intent, like that's been everything in my story. Okay? 0 offers out of high school, undersized kid from San Lorenzo Valley, up in the sticks. Okay. Spent 1 year at Sacramento State University running track. Didn't play football there. Okay, I'm glad I went there because I met my wife. 3-time conference champ and long triple jump right there. But, the kids picked the parents. My kids. That being said, I came back here and just head down, went to work. Coach is right. I was no angel. Not perfect. But sometimes you have to ask yourself, like, if I truly have focus, then I'm thinking about a goal. My goal was to play in the NFL. Okay, if my goal is to play in the NFL, then there's certain things that I could do that could take me away from that goal. Okay, so while I was here, I wasn't perfect. Okay, yeah, I'd be social here and there, but I wasn't drinking, I wasn't smoking, I wasn't getting in the car if I knew I was going to get in the car with somebody to do things that I shouldn't be doing. Some of my story of success is less about what I did and more about what I didn't do. Right? Because I chose more long-term satisfaction than immediate. That's focus. Having a focus, having an approach. I'm here early. I'm not here just on time, I'm here early because I want to be here. I don't have to be here. I warm up with focus and intent, and I'm thinking about the movements because the movements become ingrained, okay? And then I become better. And me becoming better ties me to my ultimate focus. Okay, so I'm gonna set a phone next time. Use the focus act. Intent, okay? Intent is everything. So don't tell me that, okay, I'm getting extra work in and I ran this many or I did this many. Like that doesn't mean anything to me because my story of success was less about how many I did, but when I went, I spent it. Like I'm telling you, it is a great feeling to be 36 and I have all kinds of, I would have done this different or that one game, preseason, I should have stepped. But like I could lay my head on my pillow and be like, coaches weren't questioning my intent. That's a good ass feeling. That's a good feeling. Intent in your approach, okay, becomes a habit. But ultimately, let's talk about this, accountability. Cabrillo College was a springboard for my football development. This was the first place where I watched SLV. I understand things have probably changed. 20 years ago, okay, we didn't lose a league game, we had a powerhouse, but we weren't watching film every day. I come here, we're watching film every day. I'm seeing detail of things that I should be doing, shouldn't be doing. I'm seeing myself, and the film doesn't lie. So now I'm building this sense of accountability. I'll never forget Coach and my relationship. Like he said, I'm quiet, I'm a freshman. I always struggled with thinking about the next thing. Futuristic minded. Could be a blessing, could be a curse. There was one day in the weight room, actually right outside the weight room, Coach pulled me aside and said, you know, Nick, I'm not sure that you ever fully bought in to a program, right? And when he said that, I'm thinking, what? Like, I've got the SOV, Cougar paw, my back plate, played. There's a lot of pride in that program at that time. Like, of course I bought in. He said, no, what I'm talking about is you're always worried about the next thing. Doing this, like, be where your feet are, like, be here now, be present. And he said it, right? And he didn't have to say it. He held me accountable, not because I was the lowest guy on the totem pole, but because he saw a little bit more. We all have a little bit more. We can't do it on our own. Coaches are going to hold you accountable. A really good team is me looking over at my fellow receiver, my fellow, doesn't matter position group. Hey, that ain't it. And you can put your chest out and want to swing all you want, but ultimately I have a focus for our team and intentionality, and I'm going to hold your ass accountable to do it. And anytime you don't, I'm going to let you know. Why is that a unique skill to have? Some of you guys, raise your hand if you're a father in here. Anybody? Nobody? Okay, so one. So eventually, as you become fathers, like, that's scripture based that the blood shed is on your hand for you withholding or not holding your kids accountable. Okay? Swallow your pride and receive it, because I had to swallow my pride that day and the next day. And it helped me when I went to my 4-year school, because then I was fully present. And there was this hype. Nick might go to the NFL. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. But I'm going to be right here, right now, in a little old country town, Arkadelphia, Arkansas. And I had a great opportunity and I had a great experience there. But ultimately, like, my growth that Coach is talking about, there's a lot of things to it, but it's focus, it's intent, it's being held and holding others accountable. Period. That goes for coaches too. I'm a coach too. Right? So that goes for my coaches in the hallway. Swallow pride. Like, hey, this is what I need. Out of the D lineman, I need this. Okay? Out of my receivers, this is what I need. I got you, coach. We're all on the same page. Right? Swallow pride. A great team is going to have a staff that's holding each other accountable. Okay? This flow chart, staff to staff, right? Coaches to coaches. Coaches to players. Players to players, like we talked about, but also players to coach. Because guess what? When I went to coach, and said, hey, coach, I really think that this, and this, they respected me based on what I had shown in every day. And if I was missing the mark on a consistent basis, they're not trying to hear what I have to say. In order to be a great team, the flow chart of communication, of focus, intent, and accountability is coach to coach, it's player to player, okay? It's, of course, coach to player. That's going to be most often. Swallow your pride. You're not as good as you think you are yet, but you could be better. Or not, if you don't choose to accept this. And then finally, build a reputation enough to where your voice can be heard and respected amongst the staff, okay? So that now they trust you even more, because he's thinking outside the box and he's really buying into this concept, right? I didn't come here to just say, hey, just work hard and good luck. No, I'll be honest. You have to have a high level of God-given ability and a high level of approach to make it to the NFL. I don't want to sell a dream that, like, anybody's just going to work hard and get there. Okay? Your level is you're going to have a ceiling. You are. But let's see where we can get for some of you guys in the next 6 months. Okay? For some of you guys, you got a whole another year after that. Hopefully a lot of you would like to play more football after that. That starts with focus, intent, and accountability today, tomorrow, next week, The week after? Every day. Build that up, you never know what can happen. I now get the pleasure and opportunity, and I'm about to be done, I know I'm out of time. I coach, okay, so I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. Coach at the high school level. Strength and conditioning was my background. A big reason why I chose to get into strength and conditioning was Coach Hansen. This love for training. I love training pretty much as I love the game. I'm a head track coach. I found a lot of joy and passion in that. But ultimately, like my why is to celebrate the victory of others. So being able to pour into young men and young women. I'm a head girls track coach as well. That is my why. We can get connected in terms of further. I am a man of faith, so if that is something that you would like to seek guidance on, like, okay, how do I operate as a 20-year-old male, right, wanting to do right by God in a world that's telling me to do right by my own flesh? I'm happy to take it there, but I don't want to sidebar too much. Focus, intent, accountability. Thank you. Made it.
Appreciate you there.
Yeah, and I got to run.
You're good.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.